Andrew, see, we got the new zone.
Like it?
Yeah, it's a game.
And what else? It's a 4K camera.
Yeah,
So you can shoot standard wide depth and then do the center punch on it. Double the lens. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you can do a center punch. You can assign it to the one, and then all of a sudden, it's not a digital zoom really because you're almost shooting in 1080. It's nice. I like that. It's called center. I think Sony called it center punch. Yeah.
Also, Scott has
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Never going to focus on anybody else. I'm lying.
We're back here, home. You got a share or eyes or anything?
There's AP. Okay, so where's Adrian?
This is Jazeera and Inside Edition on that one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Now, Sunday, of course, after yesterday. No, he usually.
Center scan, maybe. Let's see if it's all center scan. What's the camera again?
It's the Sony
Yeah. EW270. EW, I don't know. No. Yeah, they call it center scan. Oh, okay.
Where are you seeing that? You just
I just googled Sony center scan. I know the FS5, the FS7 have it. Pretty sure that's got it too. Z280, Z280, not 70. Yeah, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today. We ask you to maintain social distance at all times and wear a mask.
The image can be enlarged HD mode up to 34 times zoom because you have a 17 times zoom. So then you can do the center scan and that to 34 times the equivalent while maintaining full HD resolution thanks to digital extender.
Now, you're talking about while you're shooting, not post.
Correct. Correct.
You still gotta like you shoot 4K. You don't have memory
No,
card.
no, no, no. You're shooting at 1080. But your sensor is a 4K sensor. So they're digitally pushing in to the 1080 portion of the sensor. Yeah. You can't do that shooting in 4K. So it's pretty cool. He just mentioned that, so you have to go to the owner's manual, you have to go to the operator's manual. Figure that shit out.
It also has some feature on it. It's not a live view, but it does something like that.
Yeah.
Where you can send metadata.
Yeah, if you guys have the Hive, the Sony Hive infrastructure in the office and all, that's where the IT and technical guys are like. And they're working hard because now they have to change the whole infrastructure of our office if they want to go to Sony. No, but they were thinking about it. But then once the pandemic hit, that conversation just went away. Let's see, I got the owner's manual now. Face detection autofocus. That looks really good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna work for the stuff right now. I gotta see it. This camera still is choosing to expose.
But it's got an HDR mode I was just looking at.
Oh, really? Where is it?
Yeah. It's got that feature in there. You just got to find it.
Well, I'm live right now.
No, I know.
But yeah, I don't see any reason to ever not have it.
tweak that HDR mode.
I'm going to turn it on right now. Where is it?
It says system menu, HDR setting. Here, you know what I'll do? I'll send you this whole page.
Turn that on right now and see what it does.
Gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today. We ask you to maintain social distance at all times and please wear a mask. Good, we're done.
It's in the base setting. Base, B-A-S-E.
But I just changed it. See how it looks.
And now there's different settings to that actual.
Like what kind of settings?
HDR, HLG, HDR, S-Log 3.
There's only two, HLG or S-Log 3.
Yeah. I don't think you want to be an S-Log right now.
Greg. I don't know if I did that. I don't see any difference. I see a little difference. I see a little difference. Why would anybody ever not want to see that? That should be default. likes to know. It says White House. Well, they're not here. They're gonna lose their steps. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Let's go. Put him
Bye.
All right. Bye, Dad. Love you.
Nice to see you again. Can I?
Hey.
I'm with the Associated Press.
Yes, of course.
Can I have you stand right here?
Sure.
So tell me how you're feeling here on this anniversary.
Do you want me to hold this?
19. Yeah, 19. Oh, all of them.
Yeah. Well, the feeling is the same every year. It's sadness. It's with deep regret that we come here, but we come to read names and honor my brother and all those lost on 9/11. We wish we didn't have to be here, but we have a story to tell, and our story is to keep their memory alive.
Now, tell me a little bit about this year. Two separate memorials. This one, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your take on that affect you?
I was disappointed that the memorial chose not to do live reading of the names. I've read those names every year, and they do a wonderful job over there. But for whatever reasons, they felt it wasn't safe. And I'm so glad that Frank Siller and the Town of the Towers Foundation picked up the baton and ran with that. I'm on the board of the foundation, and I'm a proud member. So when he went on the air and said, "We've got this," there's nobody you want to be behind that's better than Frank Siller. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to reading names, and I'm happy that we kicked this off.
Now tell me, this one's stamped on the recording. Can you say and spell your name?
Say what?
Say and spell your name.
Oh, yeah. My name is Kathy, Kathy Cunningham, Cunningham. And my brother was killed. His name is Donald W. Robertson, Jr.
And tell me about your brother.
My brother is a 35-year-old father of four. He worked for Cantor Fitzgerald on the 105th floor. Lived in Rumson. Just the life of the party. Big college athlete, lacrosse player. Fun to be with. Beautiful dresser, and just a really kind and good person. And I can only hope that I can be half the person that he was in his 35 short years.
Awesome.
Thank
Hi, how are you?
Can I interview you?
Sure. Do you want mask up or down?
Whatever you're comfortable
I'm
with.
fine.
Tell me about what it feels like. I guess what is the 19th?
19 years. This is my brother Charlie. He's in Tower 1 with Cantor Fitzgerald on the 104th floor. It's hard to believe it's 19 years. I'm just so happy. Of course, Stephen Still Foundation, they stepped up. Just so happy to be here with everybody and to be in New York City with everything going on. But this day I'll never forget. I was in college when my brother was killed, and just thankful for New York and just the support, and just I'll never ever forget this day. I feel like I have a 3-year-old son. He knows who Uncle Charlie is, and just losing a sibling, it's just changes you forever. But on this day, it's just so important to be where he was killed.
Can you show me? Sure.
Thank you.
And what about the whole notion? I guess there's two memorials here this year. There's one 9/11, one here. What's your take on that?
Well, I was just shocked of how they were just going to forget this day. I just feel that it's history. Politics, put that aside. This was a day where how many people did we lose? People going to their jobs, trying to make a living. It killed me when I heard that news. Like the fact that de Blasio, Coleman, they didn't step up, and then it had to, of course, this foundation, which my family, we always support. I did the run 1 year. I actually walked, but didn't run. But that's what this is all about. And thank God we have this foundation that they don't forget the family members. And people could say, oh, 19 years, but I'll always be doing something this day. It's history. My brother was only 23 years old. Didn't have a family yet. Cantor Fitzgerald, which they're amazing. It's just that I'm just shocked that, come on, it's New York. Like, we have to be strong. American flag, like, let's go. And that was so hurtful. So hurtful.
Thank you.
I was seeing her. Yeah, my nephew.
Your nephew? Okay.
Yes.
Do you feel like doing
Oh, come on, somebody else. Bobby, get up here.
the new generation?
I just got it. Yeah, new generation. Go talk, Corinne.
Oh, I don't know what to
So
say.
what's it feel? You were born after 2001.
Yes,
I guess.
I was born in
So what's it feel?
2003.
This was your
Cousin.
So you know, what's your experience like? How do you see 9/11? Here it was 19 years ago. How old are you?
I'm 16. I see it as a very important day that we need to learn about and have experience about, and it's very important that it wasn't a recording of the names, and because this day is very meaningful to many people and many families. So, yeah.
Mom. My mom's calling names too.
Oh, yes. My mom's calling it.
Can you say and spell your name?
Corinne Connolly, CORINNECONNELLY.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Frank. Hi, can I interview one of you guys from Associated Press?
Yeah, well, I interviewed somebody already.
This is fantastic.
Isn't that great?
So tell me about Michael.
Well, this is my husband, Michael. This is her brother, Michael. He worked at Cantor Fitzgerald's. He was 38 years old. We had two beautiful children, Michael and Angelina. My daughter was just born. She was 2 months old. My son was 6 at the time. So we come here every year, me and my sister-in-law and other people, family members. My niece is actually reading at this ceremony today. Yeah, so...
How old is she?
She's 26. Yeah.
So she remembers.
She was 6, and my nephew was 5 at the time. So they remember him.
Now, tell me a little bit about, we got like 2 ceremonies this year, or like...
It's a little strange. The memorial and museum decided not to do the live reading. So this is when the Stephen Siller Tunnels and Towers Foundation steps in, and this is why we are such a big supporter of this foundation, because they made this happen.
Oh yeah, we're huge supporters.
They made this happen, so they said, you know what, we're going to have the live readers this year, and it's very important to family members that the names are read aloud. I very much understand the restrictions with COVID. My mom was very sick, so I get the seriousness of it. But we were disappointed that they did that. So Stephen Siller Foundation made it happen. And,
Yeah, we actually do
we
the tower climb, the Stephen Siller tower climb every year.
If you ever want to support a good
Best charity,
organization,
ever.
it's amazing. So
What they do for so many people.
Yep. So after this, we'll head over to the main memorial to go to the pools and say our prayers there to see Michael's name, and it's just what we do every year.
And are you worried at all? We're all wearing masks.
I'm not worried, not even a little bit.
No, I'm not worried.
Not concerned.
I actually just got back a negative COVID test result last night, so.
We're good.
No, I'm not worried.
We're just taking, it's just a personal responsibility to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do and sanitizing and hand washing, and there would be nothing to keep me from coming down here.
No, and I vowed I would always
Every year.
stand loud and proud and hold up his picture. He was such a great man that everyone should hear his name be spoken, see him, see his face, and I'll do it till the day I die.
They're not just names, they're people. Losing Michael, really changed the course of our entire family. My mom losing her only son, Diane losing her husband, me losing my brother, my niece and nephew losing their dad, my kids losing their uncle. It just devastated our family. So one name, that's only one name with all of that connection and family, times that by 3,000 people. So it's really powerful, and it's important that people remember these people, not just the names, but they were people, their families. So it kind of changed the course, the trajectory of our lives, I guess I should say.
No, and he truly was like the best of the best, and anyone that knew him will tell you that.
Can you say and spell your name?
Diane, D-I-A-N-E, Massaroli, M-A-S-S-A-R-O-L-I.
And this is your husband.
That's my husband.
Yep, and I'm Joanne, Joann, Massaroli, Massaroli.
And Michael was your
Brother.
Michael's your
Brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say and spell your name?
It's Joanne, Joann, with no E.
With no E, and your last name is...
The same, Massaroli.
Let me just get a shot of you guys.
I think it fell off the wall. The snap comes off all the time. It's a cheap one, but it's nicer.
She just does.
Here, just do, you're going to do a bunch of shots.
I don't know.
Why did I wake up at all?
How are you? Good. There's still people around.
How many do you need? For some reason, the autofocus.
This lady? What did they say? Did they talk about the two different events?
Yeah. Like you working out. It's a better place.
Yeah, I just don't know what, like... So basically I don't know what I'm doing. We have a live of that. And we are live of this. And we have, it just seems like...
You need me, Mama? I was just going to say, I think I'm... Everything good? No, I'm good.
Tower. Drums.
Fabulous job.
I feel like my...
I gotta say, do you have the list of records in here? You told me this thing that
how he gets on stage when he's right over
I still can't believe we pulled it off, but yeah, I guess I should continue.
Hey, Brian. Are you over at the Marriott?
I don't know. I said.
Okay. I'm over at the stage in the box. But what? Tell me what
Yeah, no, it's
but I'll wait for you. I'll be down here. I have a black song like everybody else does.
I watched that.
After you read, I'll be waiting for you.
I watched that baby. I had a little grip.
15 minutes, and then we'll make sure we don't
All
have to
right.
wait. Good luck. You're in.
David's right there shooting with us.
the hearings, yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today. We ask you to maintain social distance at all times, and please wear a mask. Also, please put your cell phones on silent mode. Please rise for the presentation of the colors. Performing our national anthem, international vocalist and New York tenor, Christopher Macchio. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the gates red glare, heavens bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Our sailors, the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the leading our Pledge of Allegiance, Tunnel to Towers Smart Home recipient, Corporal Scott Noakes.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome Father Jerome to deliver today's invocation.
Let us pray. God our Father, today we stand on hallowed ground. Ground zero is called, or more appropriately, ground hero. For on this day, September 11th, 2001, 3,000 lives were taken from us in an instant. We dare not forget the sacrifice of those who gave all on that fateful day. We pray for those who responded to the call of duty. Indeed, as it has been said, all gave some on that day, but some gave all. As we reflect upon these men and women and their courage, we are grateful for the sacrifices they made. Greater love than this, no one has, that he laid down his life for a friend. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the gift that is our beloved country, the United States of America, where we enjoy freedom, freedom of speech and expression, freedom to worship God, freedom from want, and finally, freedom from fear. And we pray, God, that these freedoms may always be preserved and maintained forever. Let us not forget that freedom is not free. It sometimes comes at a tremendous price. God bless all who perish on this sacred day. Eternal rest grant unto them, and may they rest in peace. Amen.
Marie Gordon M. Amath, Jr. L. Demiro Abad. Marie Rose Abad. Andrew Anthony Abate. Vincent Paul Abate. Lawrence Christopher Abel. Alona Abraham. William F. Abrahamson. Richard Anthony Achetto. Henrik Bernard Ackerman. Paul Aqua Viva. Christopher Adams. Donald Leroy Adams. Patrick Adams. Shannon Lewis Adams. Stephen George Adams. Ignatius Udo Adongo. Christy A. Adamo. Terrence Edward Adderley Jr. Sophia B. Otto. Lee Adler. Daniel Thomas Aflito. Emmanuel Akwasi Afakwa. Alok Agua. And my cousin, firefighter David DeRubio. Your sacrifices on that day will not be forgotten. You've instilled something in me that will not be extinguished. Until we meet again, brother, let's go Rangers.
Godwin O. Elijah, Trudy M. Alagiero, Andrew Alamina, Margaret Ann Ilaria, Gary M. Elpiro, John Leslie Alder, Peter Craig Alderman, Jacqueline Dwayne Aldridge Frederick, David D. Alger, Ernest Malley Cacas, Edward L. Alberto, Eric Allen, Joseph Ryan Allen, Richard Dennis Allen, Richard L. Allen, and my brother, Dennis Michael Edwards. As Macklemore says, I heard you die twice. Once when they put you in the grave, and once when they stop mentioning your name. We will never stop mentioning your name.
Christopher B. Allen, Anna S.W. Allison, Janet Marie Alonso, Anthony Alvarado, Antonio Javier Alvarez, Victoria Alvarez Brito, Telmo E. Alver, Cesar Amaranto Alviar, Tariq Emanula, Angelo Amaranto, James M. Amato, Joseph Amatuccio, Paul W. Ambrose, Christopher Charles Amoroso, Craig Scott Amundsen, Kazuhiro Anai, Calixto Anaya Jr., Joseph P. Anshundia, Kermit Charles Anderson, Yvette Constance Anderson, John Jack Andratio, Michael Rourke Andrews, Jean Ann Andruki, Sue Nia Ang, and my uncle, Calixto Anaya Jr. Theo, unfortunately, I only got to know you through stories, but through those stories, I got to learn the type of person who you were. And I know you'd be proud of your family today. I wish I had my own memories with you. We love you and we miss you.
Joseph Angelini Sr., Joseph John Angelini Jr., David Lawrence Angel, Mary Lynn Edwards Angel, Laura Angeletta, Doreen J. Angrisani, Lorraine Antigua, Sema David Ioma, Peter Paul Apollo, Faustino Apostle Jr., Frank Thomas Aquilino, Patrick Michael Araños, David Gregory Ark, Michael George Krasinski, Louis Arena, Barbara Jean Aristigi, Adam P. Arias, Michael J. Armstrong, Jack Charles Aaron, Joshua Todd Aaron, Richard Avery Arano, Maya Joy Aronson. Japhet Jesse Arai, Carl Francis Massaro, and my uncle, firefighter Sean Hanley. I'm standing here today in his legacy as a fourth-generation firefighter, proudly wearing his badge number. 19 years ago today, my Uncle Sean had just gotten off his night tour when he heard the news. He quickly turned around with a sense of pride and purpose. On this day, he made the supreme sacrifice, like many others. My Uncle Sean's smile was contagious. He always lit up the room. His sense of humor and charm is something I've always admired. He always put his family first. My two great-grandfathers and my grandfather and my two uncles proudly served on the FDNY, and I feel it is an honor and a privilege for me now to serve with New York's bravest. I carry on the Hanley legacy. Uncle Sean, I know you're looking down on us. We love and miss you. And lastly, to all my FDNY brothers and sisters that risk their lives every day to keep New York safe, Godspeed.
Michael A. Asiak, Michael Edward Asher, Janice Marie Ashley, Thomas J. Ashton, Manuel Asembe, Greg A. Atlas, Gerald Thomas Atwood, James Odefred, Louis F. Aversano Jr., Ezra Avilas, Sandy Ayala, Arlene T. Babakitis, Estes R. Baku, John J. Badaglilaka, Jane Ellen Basler, Robert J. Bearwalter, Andrew J. Bailey, Brett T. Bailey, Garnet Ace Bailey, Tatiana Bakalinskaya, Michael S. Batch, Sharon M. Malcolm, Michael Andrew Bain, Catherine Mantis, and my nephew, Thomas Edward Juergens, who died on 9/11 in the South Tower of the World Trade Center rescuing people in danger. He lived a life of service. He was a New York State court officer, a volunteer fireman, and a combat-trained Army medic. He lived as he served. He died as he lived, helping others. Rest in peace.
It is an honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to recite the names of those lost on September 11th. Gerard Baptista, Walter Baran, Paul Vincent Barbaro, James William Barbella, Victor Daniel Barbosa, Christine Joanna Barbuto, Colleen Ann Barkow, David Michael Barkway, Matthew Barnes, Melissa Rose Barnes, Sheila Patricia Barnes, Evan J. Barron, Renee Barrett Arjun, Arthur Thaddeus Barry, Diane G. Barry, Maurice Vincent Barry, Scott D. Bart, Carlton W. Bartels, Guy Barsby, Ina B. Bassina, Elisa Christine Burton Bashamani, Kenneth William Bosnicki, Stephen Joseph Bates, and my husband of 30 years, FDNY Chief Gerard A. Barbara, a member of the FD for 31 years, and as a young man served in the U.S. Navy. Jerry would have been beaming with pride at the achievements of his children, Karen and Paul, and overjoyed with his 5 grandchildren, Alexis, Luke, Thomas, Elena, and Kate. Unfortunately, they never knew the world and love he would have showered them with. The September 11th memorials and ceremonies are always milestones to our families and the 9/11 community. We especially want to commend the Tunnel to Tower Foundation for providing us a venue during COVID-19. In these times of the pandemic, may we respect and be thankful for our PD, FD, EMT, first responders, hospital personnel, and our military past and present, and those who continue to suffer from the aftermath of September 11th. May we never forget September 11th, and God bless America.
Paul James Battaglia, W. David Bauer, Ivan Luis Carpio Bautista, Marilyn Capito Bautista, Mark Lawrence Davis, Jasper Baxter, Lorraine G. Bay, Michelle Beal, Todd M. Beamer, Paul Frederick Bettini, Jane S. Beatty, Alan Anthony Bevan, Lawrence Ira Beck, Minette Marie Beckles, Carl John Bedigian, Michael Ernest Beekman, Marie A. Baer, Max J. Belke, Yelena Belavosky, Nina Patrice Bell, Debbie S. Bellows, Stephen Elliott Belson, Paul M. Benedetti, Denise Lenore Benedetto, and my cousin Michael Stabile. Although I was only 5 years old when you passed, your memory still lives on and our family has not forgotten. We miss you, we love you, and you are always in our hearts.
Brian Craig Bennett, Eric L. Bennett, Oliver Bennett, Margaret L. Benson, Dominic J. Barati, James Patrick Berger, Stephen Howard Berger, John P. Burgeon, Alvin Bergson, Daniel David Bergstein, Graham Andrew Berkeley, Michael J. Berkeley, Donna M. Berners, David W. Bernard, William H. Bernstein, David M. Berry, David Shelby Berry, Joseph John Berry, William Reed Bethke, Yanai May Matru, Timothy D. Erdely, Carol Mayer Yo, Edward Frank Baye, Paul Michael Mayers, and firefighter Michael Carlo, who passed away September 11th, who was survived by his brother Rob Carlo, who lives his legacy and does so much for the communities in remembrance of his brother. And just to remember all the persons out there that are still suffering from the effects of 9/11. God bless to all of you.
Neil Tahara Bahravni, Bella J. Buchanan, Shimmy D. Eagleson, Peter Alexander Millfield, William G. McGart, Brian Eugene Milcher, Mark Bingham, Carl Vincent Binney, Gary Eugene Bird, Joshua David Birnbaum, George John Bishop, Chris Romeo Bishendot, Jeffrey Donald Bittner,
Good morning. I'd like to say it is truly an honor for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation to host this sacred ceremony. We knew that it was of the utmost importance that we read aloud the names of all 2,977 souls who perished 19 years ago today, as well as the names of the 6 lives lost in the 1993 attack on the World Trade Center. Think of people like Gene Raggio, a Port Authority supervisor, known as the mayor of the Twin Towers, who survived the 1993 attack and ended up sacrificing his life helping others on 9/11. His name must be read out loud. And NYPD officer Morris Smith, who was in the South Tower helping people evacuate, repeating over and over, "Don't look, keep moving, keep moving." How many people did she save? Her name must be read out loud. Or the man in the red bandana, Wells Crowther, who saved countless lives. He wasn't a firefighter. He wasn't a police officer. But like so many that day, he made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of others. His name must be read out loud. What about Todd Beamer and the other passengers on Flight 93 who fought the hijackers before they crashed in Shanksville? Will we ever forget Todd's last words? Let's roll. Their names must be heard and read out loud. And for those who lost their lives when the Pentagon was struck by Flight 77, including the youngest victim, little 3-year-old Dana Falkenberg, isn't it right and isn't it just that we read their names out loud? There were so many acts of heroism, like FDNY Battalion Chief Oriel Palmer, along with his band of brothers, who made it up to the 78th floor of the South Tower to help evacuate civilians who sacrificed their lives. And how about my brother, firefighter Stephen Siller, father of 5, who strapped 60 pounds of gear on his back and he ran through the tunnel to the towers where he gave up his life while saving others. They deserve their names read out loud. The horrific loss of life from the largest attack on U.S. soil and terrorist attack requires that we read these names out loud in person on this day every year. We can never minimize that fateful day. The innocence, the violation of so many young people murdered 19 years ago today. We must always remember, we must never forget. God bless you all, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tunnel to Towers Chairman and CEO Frank Siller and Mrs. Patricia Siller. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Kelly Craft. U.S. Acting Secretary of Homeland Security, Chad Wolf and Mrs. Hope Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, and Second Lady, Mrs. Karen Pence.
season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep, a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Ecclesiastes.
In the memory of all those we lost on this day 19 years ago. In memory of the heroes that were forged that day. And heroes forged on battlefields ever since. And for the families, loved ones, and friends they left behind. I pray these ancient words will comfort your hearts and ours. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Malachi Blackman, Jr. My dad, firefighter Christopher J. Blackwell, Rescue 3. Carrie Rosetta Blackburn. Susan Lee Ware. Harry Blanding, Jr. Janice E. Blaney. Craig Michael Glass. Rita Lau. Richard Middleton Ludd, Jr. Michael Andrew Bocardi. John Paul Hockey.
Michael L. Muccino, Susan M. Muccino, Dara Francis Bodley, Bruce Douglas Bowen, Mary Catherine Murphy Bova, Nicholas Andrew Ogden, Darren Christopher Bohan, Lawrence Francis Boasu, Vincent M. Boland Jr., Tori Hamzavi Bolachari, Alan Bondarenko, Andre Bonar Jr., Colin Arthur Bonnet, Frank J. Bonamo, Yvonne Lucia Bonamo, Sean Booker Sr., Kelly Ann Booms, Canfield D. Boone, Mary Jean Booth, Sherry Ann Bordeaux, Christine Watanabe, Jerry J. Ward, Martin Michael Borcheski, Richard Edward Bosco, and my brother, firefighter Brian Eugene Belcher. Brian, there isn't a day that goes by I don't think of you. I've been asked how one gets over something like this. What can I say? All I can say is that we don't get over it. We just learn to live with it. In 19 years, you have missed so much. Your son would make you so proud. Grant is in his second year of college, an amazing young man, smart, talented, hardworking, and respectful. He has a love for Jeeps, basically all cars, and he definitely takes after you with his appetite. After all, you didn't earn the name Tugboat for being small in stature. Your nieces have grown to young women. Ashley recently became a mother, which makes you a great uncle. Yes, I can hear you say, what do you mean? I was always great. And great you were, and continue to be in all of our hearts. God bless you and all the lives lost 19 years ago, and God bless the United States of America.
Carol Marie Bouchard, J. Howard Walton, Francisco Eligio Boder, Thomas Harold Bowden Jr., Donna M. Bowen, Kimberly S. Bowers, Veronique Nicole Bowers, Larry Bowman, Sean Edward Bowman Jr., Kevin L. Bowser, Gary R. Box, Kennedy Boyarsky, Pamela Boyce, Alan P. Boyle, Michael Boyle, Alfred J. Braca, Sandra Conity Grace, Kevin Hugh Bracken, Sandy Waugh Bradshaw, David Ryan Brady, Alexander Wodinski, Nicholas W. Rentamurti, Daniel Raymond Brandhurst, and my father, FDNY, Lieutenant Joseph P. Gullickson, Letter 101. Daddy, not a day goes by where we don't think of you. We miss you and we love you.
David Reed Gamboa Brandhurst, Michelle Renee Bratton, Patrice Brown, Lydia Estelle Bravo, Ronald Michael Breitweiser, Edward A. Brennan III, Frank H. Brennan, Michael E. Brennan, Peter Brennan, Thomas Moore Brennan, Daniel J. Brethel, Gary Lee Bright, Jonathan Eric Riley, Mark A. Brisman, Paul Gary Bristow, Marion R. Britton, Mark Francis Broderick, Herman Charles Broadhammer, Keith A. Broomfield, Bernard C. Brown II, Janice Julius Brown, Lloyd Stanford Brown, Patrick John Brown, Bettina B. Brown Radburn, and to my uncle, firefighter John Michael Collins of Ladder 25. I was very young when he passed, but you've had a profound impact on me. You're the reason I became an EMT, and you're my role model in life and in my career. You're my hero, Johnny. We love you and we'll never forget.
Mark Bruce, Richard George Bruher, Andrew Brunn, Vincent Edward Brunton, Ronald Buca, Brandon J. Buchanan, Greg J. Buck, Dennis Buckley, Nancy Claire Boucher, Patrick Joseph Boos, John Edward Bulaga Jr., Stephen Bruce Bunnett, Christopher L. Buford, my friend Matthew J. Burke, Thomas Daniel Burke, William Francis Burke Jr., Charles F. Burlingame III, Thomas E. Burnett Jr., Donald J. Burns, Kathleen Ann Burns, Keith James Burns, John Patrick Burnside, Irina Uslo, Milton G. Bustillo, and my friend and brother-in-law, Sean Thomas Lugano. Your family misses and loves you and thinks about you every day. God bless Matt, Sean, and all of the victims. God bless the victims' families, and God bless the United States of America.
Thomas M. Butler, Patrick Dennis Byrne, Timothy G. Byrne, Daniel M. Caballero, Jesus Napalte Cabarrus, Lillian Caceres, Brian Joseph Cachia, Stephen Dennis DeFiro Jr., Richard Michael Caggiano, Cecile Maria Kalika, John Brett Cahill, Michael John Cahill, Scott Walter Cahill, Thomas Joseph Cahill, George C. Kane, Salvatore B. Calabro, Joseph M. Calandrillo, Philip V. Calcano, Edward Calderon, Jose O. Calderon O'Mello, Kenneth Marcus Cadwell, Dominic E. Kalia, Felix Bobby Calixte, Francis Joseph Callahan, my cousin Salvatore B. Calabro, firefighter. We love and miss you very much.
Liam Callahan, Suzanne M. Callie, Gino Luigi Calvi, Rocco Camage, Michael F. Camarado, David O.T. Campbell, Jeffrey Thomas Campbell.
Try this again. Hello. Liam Callahan. Suzanne M. Callie. Gino Luigi Calvi. Rocco Camage. Michael F. Camerata. David Odie Campbell. Jeffrey Thomas Campbell. Robert Arthur Campbell. Sandra Patricia Campbell. Sean Thomas Canavan. John A. Candela. Vincent A. Cangelosi. Stephen J. Cangelosi. Lisa Bella Canava. Brian Canizaro. Michael R. Canty. Louis Anthony Caparici. Jonathan Neff Capello. James Christopher Cappers. Richard Michael Caproni. Jose Manuel Cardona. Dennis M. Carey Sr. Edward Carlino. Michael Scott Carlo. And my uncle, firefighter John G. Chipora, Engine 219. It's been 19 years, my entire life since the towers were attacked. I did not know my uncle, but the stories of him and his life's accomplishments have filled me with love and wonder at a man I would have loved to know. Part of me is jealous and hurt that I was robbed of that chance, never to experience his laughter, warm hugs, and his friendship. However, we as a family always look to the blessings we have and pray for those who have suffered tragedies, as Uncle John would have wanted us to do. We love you always and know you are watching over us. And thank you to the Siller Foundation for keeping this tradition alive, so my generation and generations to come will always know to never forget, or as my father would say as he stands behind me today, to always remember.
Good morning. Okay, David G. Carlone. Rosemary C. Carlson. Mark Stephen Carney. Joyce Ann Carbonetto. Jeremy Kaz Carrington. Michael T. Carroll. Peter J. Carroll. James Joseph Carson Jr. Christopher McCall Carcinogen. Angeline C. Carter. James Marcel Cartier. Sharon Ann Carver. Vivian Castleduck. John Francis Casaza. Paul Reagan Casio. Nellie Ann Heffernan Casey. William Joseph Cashman. Thomas Anthony Casora. William Otto Casper. Alejandro Castaño. Arcelia Castillo. Leonard M. Castriano. Jose Roman Castro. William E. Caswell, and my cousin Kevin J. Smith of Hazmat 1, one of the first to enter the building that day. We love you and miss you to the moon and back. Until we meet again, God bless the FDNY and the New York Police Department and America. Thank you very much.
Richard G. Catarelli, Christopher Sean Caton, Robert John Caulfield, Mary Teresa Caulfield, Justin Cavalier, Michael Joseph Cawley, Jason David Kane, Juan Armando Ceballos, Marcia G. Cecil Carter, Jason Michael Cephalo, Thomas Joseph Selleck, Anna Mercedes Centeno, Joni Sesta, John J. Chada, Jeffrey Mark Chernoff, Swarna Chalasani, William A. Chalkoff, Eli Shallow, Charles Lawrence Chan, Mandy Chang, Rosa Maria Chapa, Mark Lawrence Charette, David M. Charlebois, Gregorio Manuel Chavez, and my uncle and godfather, Michael Massaroli. Uncle Michael, I carry you with me wherever I go in everything I do. It's a little surreal that it's been 19 years since we've lost you, but you're always in my heart and on my mind. I think about you every single day, and I only wish I could fill you in on all the amazing, exciting new things that we're all experiencing. Thank you for always watching over me and everybody else, and thank you to the Steven Tiller Foundation for allowing this to happen in wake of the pandemic. Thank you.
Pedro Francisco Checo, Douglas Macmillan Cherry, Stephen Patrick Cherry, Vernon Paul Cherry, Nestor Julio Chavalia Jr., Swede Joseph Chevalier, Alexander H. Cheong, Dorothy J. Chirachio, Luis Alfonso Chimbo, Robert Chin, Eddie Wingwei Ching, Nicholas Paul Chiafalo, John G. Chipera, Peter A. Chirchirilo, Catherine Ellen Charles, Ki Young Hee Casey Cho, Abul K. Chowdhury, Mohammed Salahuddin Chowdhury, Kirsten Lael Christoph, Pamela Chu, Stephen Paul Chuknik, Wai Ching Chung, Christopher Chiar Ferdini, Alex F. Ciccione, and my father, Lieutenant Joseph P. Gullickson of Ladder 101. We love and we miss you.
Francis Ann Salenti, Elaine Chillo, Patricia Ann Cimaroli Vasari and her unborn child, Edna Cintrone, Nestor Andre Cintrone III, Robert D. Siri Sr., Juan Pablo Cisneros, Benjamin Keith Clark, Eugene Clark, Gregory Allen Clark, Manny Leroy Clark, Sarah M. Clark, Thomas R. Clark, Christopher Robert Clark, Donna Marie Clark, Michael J. Clark, Surya Rachel Emma Clark, Kevin Francis Cleary, James D. Clear, Jeffrey W. Cloud, Susan Marie Klein, Stephen Coakley, Jeffrey Allen Cole, Patricia A. Cody, and my mother, Susan Patrice Clancy Conlon. Mom, wishing you were here will never get easier. We try to find peace by living through your spirit every day. All of us love and miss you.
Daniel Michael Coffey, Jason Matthew Coffey, Florence G. Cohen, Kevin S. Cohen, Anthony Joseph Colatinato, Mark Joseph Coleo, Stephen J. Coleo, Christopher Michael Colasante, Kevin Nathaniel Colbert, Michelle P. Colbert, Keith E. Coleman, Scott Thomas Coleman, Terrell Coleman, Liam Joseph Colhoun, Robert D. Colin, Robert J. Call, Jean Marie Collin, John Michael Collins, Michael L. Collins, Thomas Joseph Collins, Joseph Kent Collison, Jeffrey Dwayne Coleman, Patricia Malia Kaladner, Linda M. Cologne, and my nephew, Charles Francis Xavier Heron. Charlie, at 23 years old, you were brutally taken from us. Not a day goes by that your family and friends do not think about you, talk about you, laugh about you, or cry about you. In your short life on earth, you made such an impact, and for that we are forever grateful. Your family and friends have gone on to live without you, but you are dearly missed, especially by your brothers and sisters, Sean, Billy, Anne Marie, and Bernadette. But life goes on, and we live the lives you would want us to live, with happy times, sad times, and babies born with your name. Continue to be our guardian angel, and until we meet again in heaven, we love you, and give your mom a big kiss and hug from us. We love you.
Sol E. Colon, Ronald Edward Comer, Jaime Concepcion, Albert Conde, Denise Conley, Susan P. Conlon, Mary Margaret Connor, Cynthia Marie Lease Conley, John E. Conley Jr., James Lee Connor, Jonathan M. Connors, Kevin Patrick Connors, Kevin F. Conroy, Brenda E. Conway, Dennis Michael Cook, Helen D. Cook, Jeffrey W. Coombs, John A. Cooper, Julian T. Cooper, Joseph John Capo Jr., Gerard J. Coppola, Joseph Albert Corbett, John J. Corcoran III, Alejandro Cordero, and my brother, Donald W. Robertson, Jr. Donnie, we love you and miss you every single day. We keep your legacy alive through your beautiful children, Michael, Matthew, Madison, and Kevin, as well as Mom and Dad and our large family and all of your friends, and of course, Team Shamrock. We promise that we will be here every year reading your name and keeping your memory alive. We, Donnie, will never forget you. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Robert Joseph Cordes, Ruben D. Carrera, Danny A. Carrera Gutierrez, Georgine Rose Corrigan, James J. Corrigan, Carlos Cortez Rodriguez, Kevin Michael Cosgrove, Dolores Marie Costa, Digna Alexandra Costanza, Charles Gregory Costello, Michael S. Costello, Asia S. Cottam, Conrad Coffey Catoya Sr., Martin John Conlon, John G. Conlon, Timothy J. Conlon, James E. Cove, Andre Colin Cox, Frederick John Cox, James Raymond Coyle, Michelle Coyle Beulah, Christopher Saton Kramer, Eric A. Cranford, Denise Elizabeth Krant, and my father, Jesus J.R. Sanchez. Dad, we miss you a lot. There's a lot you've missed out on my life. I've been told you're a really great person, more compassionate and kindness than anybody's ever seen. I try to embody that every day and hope that I'm making you proud with everything I do. I want to thank the Towers 2 Foundation for doing this, especially because I was sad. I didn't think it was going to happen, so I really appreciate this chance to do this again like I did last year. God bless the 9/11 victims, and God bless America.
Good morning. James Leslie Crawford Jr., Robert James Crawford, Tara Kathleen Creamer, Joanne Mary Cregan, Lucia Crafasi, John A. Krisky, Daniel Hal Crispin, Dennis A. Cross, Kevin R. Cotty, Thomas G. Crotty, John R. Crow, Wells Remy Crowther, Robert L. Cruikshank, John Robert Cruz, Grace Alegre Guha, Kenneth Jones Cubas, Francisco Cruz Cubero, Thelma Cuccinello, Richard Joseph Cudina, Neil James Cudmore, Thomas Patrick Cullen III, Joanne Cullinan, Joyce Rose Cummings, Brian Thomas Cummings, and my brother William McGinn, Squad 18, FDNY.
Michael Joseph Cunningham, Robert Curatolo, Lawrence Damian Curia, Paul Dario Curioli, Patrick Joseph Curvin, Beverly L. Curry, Andrew Peter Charles Curry Green, Michael Sean Curtin, Patricia Cushing, Gavin Cushney, Caleb Aaron Dack, Carlos S. DaCosta, Jason M. Dahl, Brian Paul Dale, John DeLara, Vincent Gerard Damadeo, Thomas A. Damaskinos, Jack L. D'Ambrosi Jr., Janine Damiani Jones, Manuel Joao Lamota, Patrick W. Danahy, Mary D'Antonio, Vincent G. Dons, Dwight Donald Darcy.
Elizabeth Ann Darling, Annette Andrea Dadaran, Edward A. Diatri, Michael D. Dioria, Lawrence Davidson, Michael Allen Davidson, Scott Matthew Davidson, Titus Davidson, Nirka Davila, Ada M. Davis, Clinton Davis Sr., Wayne Terrell Davis, Anthony Richard Dawson, Calvin Dawson, Edward James Day, William Thomas Dean, Robert J. DeAngelis Jr., Thomas Patrick DeAngelis, Dorothy Alma Diaruyuho, Anna Gloria Hukasangri Di Barreria, Tara E. DeBeek, James D. Devenure, Anna M. Devin, James V. de Blase Jr., and we will never forget and will always honor the memory of Vito Joseph DeLeo.
J. Sorrell Alabuyak de Chavez, Paul DeCola, Gerald F. DeCanto, Simon Mirage de Bukish, Jason Christopher DeFazio, David A. DeFeo, Jennifer De Jesus, Monique Effie De Jesus, Nereda De Jesus, Emmy De La Pena, Donald Arthur De La Pena, Azucena Maria De La Torre, Vito Joseph DeLeo, Danielle Ann DeLee, Joseph A. Della Pietra, Andrea Della Bella, Palmina Deligati, Colleen Ann DeLacari, Joseph DeLuca, Manuel Del Valle Jr., Francis Albert DiMartini, Anthony Dimas, Martin N. DeMeo, Francis Deming, and my brother Thomas Swift. Your entire family loves you and misses you. You may be gone, but you'll live in our hearts and our soul forever.
Carol Keys Demitz, Kevin Dennis, Thomas Francis Dennis Sr., Jean C. De Palma, Jose Nicholas De Pena, Robert John Duraney, Michael Di Rienzo, David Paul Rubio, Jamal Legacy DeSantis, Christian Louis De Simone, Edward De Simone III, Andrew J. Desperito, Michael Jude D'Esposito, Cindy Ann Duell, Melanie Louise DeVer, Jerry DeVito, Robert P. Devitt Jr., Dennis Lawrence Devlin, Gerard P. Dewan, Sumanali Kasamali Danani, Michael Louis D'Agostino, Matthew Diaz, Nancy Diaz, Abdulio Ruiz Diaz, and my brother, firefighter David Paul DeRubio. The days will always be brighter because you existed. The nights will always be darker because you're gone. And no matter what anyone says about grief and about time healing all wounds, the truth is, there are certain sorrows that never fade away until the heart stops beating and the last breath is taken. David, we love you, we miss you, and we wish you always. Stay close.
Michael A. Diaz Pedrara III, Judith Velasquez Diaz Sierra, Patricia Florence DiChiario, Rodney Dickens, Jerry D. Dickinson, Joseph Dermot Dickey Jr., Lawrence Patrick Dickinson, Michael D. Deal, John D. Fado, Vincent Francis DeFazio, Carl Anthony DeFranco, Donald Joseph DeFranco, Eddie A. Dillard, Deborah Ann DiMartino, David DeMeglio, Stephen Patrick Dominio, William John Dimling, Christopher Moore Dincuff, Jeffrey Mark Dingle, Rena Sam Denew, Anthony D. Nasio, George G. Squally, Joseph D. Pilato, Douglas Frank DiStefano, and my mother, Barbara P. Walsh. How could this be 19 years? We brought up our families and had so much love and good memories, but there's always a missing piece in our hearts without you here, Mom. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. It's a true statement. We, your family, understand these words. We've never experienced the love that we have for you, and we are missing you terribly the way we do 19 years later. Still, we're so grateful. We laugh. We have lots of tears, and we still enjoy all the family vacations. Without your guidance, we would not have the roadmap to navigate into the future. Thanks, Mom, for all you gave us. But we will miss you, and always will miss you. We are so blessed to have you in our lives. Thank you, Towers to Tunnel Foundation, for doing the right thing for our families of 9/11. This is something our families will never forget. Rest in peace to all our loved ones. God bless America.
Donald Americo DiTullio, Ramsey A. Donane, Johnny Doctor Jr., John Joseph Doherty, Melissa Candida Doy, Brendan Dolan, Robert E. Dolan Jr., Neil Matthew Dollard, James DeManico, Benilda Pascual Domingo, Alberto Dominguez, Carlos Dominguez, Jerome Mark Patrick Dominguez, Kevin W. Donnelly, Jacqueline Donovan, William H. Donovan, Stephen Scott Dorff, Thomas Dowd, Kevin Christopher Dowdle, Mary Yolanda Dowling, Raymond Matthew Downey Sr., Frank Joseph Doyle, Joseph Michael Doyle, Randall L. Drake, and my cousin, firefighter Kevin Rockin, your wife Jen, your siblings, in-laws, and all of your extended family miss you and love you, our hero. God bless all who were lost that day, and God bless all of our survivors.
Patrick Joseph Driscoll, Stephen Patrick Driscoll, Charles A. Droz III, Myrna A. Duarte, Luke A. Dudek, Christopher Michael Duffy, Gerard J. Duffy, Michael Joseph Duffy, Thomas W. Duffy, Antoinette Duger, Jackie Saya Dugan, Sariv Ducat, Patrick Dunn, Felicia Gail Dunn Jones, Christopher Joseph Dunn, Richard Anthony Dunstan, Patrick Thomas Dwyer, Joseph Anthony Eaglebachi, John Bruce Eagleson, Edward T. Earhart, Robert Douglas Eaton, Dean Philip Eberling, Margaret Ruth Echterman, Paul Robert Eckner, and my sister, my best friend, Lucy Bracken Fishman. Lucy, you were taken from us 19 years ago when you left behind your two beautiful children, Samantha, 11 years old, and Jason, only 3. Our mother, our siblings, 5 of us, 1 niece and 5 nephews. Since this day, 19 years ago, when you went to work for Aon, 2 more nieces and a nephew have been born that you have never met. They never got to know their always smiling, happy, fun Aunt Lucy. You should be here in October when your daughter gives birth for the first time. You should be here to meet your grandson and be his grandma. Jason should have known his mom. You should be here guiding him through college decisions and watch him proudly as he becomes a music teacher, since you always loved music so much, and I'm sure that's where he got it from. You never got to see him on his first day of preschool, because the first day of preschool was September 11th, and you won't get to see him when he gets that master's in music. We are incomplete without you, and losing you has forever altered our lives. You are loved beyond words, and you are missed beyond measure. Take care of all of us, especially your little girl when she goes into labor. Continue to be our special, beautiful guardian angel. Watch over us and protect us. Keep sending us all those signs. And hold my little boy, who's with you now, in a tight hug for me. Tell him how much his mama misses him and loves him. Dance and sing for him the way you used to do for all of us. The 2 of you rest in the sweetest of peace until we are all together again. And thank you, Stephen Siller. Thank you for your sacrifice that day, and for his family, the Sillers, that helped first responders, the military, and all of our 9/11 families. Without them, today would not be possible. God bless America.
Constantine Economos, Barbara G. Edwards, Dennis Michael Edwards, Michael Hardy Edwards, Christine Egan, Lisa Erin Egan,
Martin J. Egan, Jr. Michael Egan. Samantha Martin Egan. Carol Eggert. Lisa Karen Ehrlich. John Ernst Ehrlich. Eric Adam Eisenberg. Daphne Verlinda Elder. Michael J. Elferis. Mark Joseph Ellis. Valerie Silver Ellis. Albert Alfie William Elmery. Robert R. Elsif. Edgar Hendricks Emery, Jr. Doris Suk Yoon Aang. Christopher Epps. Ulf Ram Erickson. Erwin L. Erker. Beloved brother Robert Fazio, Jr., a very gentle man who gave his life for others. You are missed by your sister, Carol.
It is with great honor and privilege that I am able to say these names. William John Irwin, Sarah Ali Escarcega, Jose Espinal, Fanny Espinoza, Billy Scoop Esposito, Bridget Ann Esposito, Firefighter Frankie Esposito, Captain Michael A. Esposito, Ruben Esquelin Jr., Sadie Eddy, Barbara G. Etzold, Eric Brian Evans, Robert Edward Evans, Meredith Emily June Ewart, Catherine K. Fagan, Patricia Mary Fagan, Ivan Prelios Fairbanks Barbosa, Keith George Fairbin, Sandra Fajardo Smith, Charles S. Falkenberg, Dana Falkenberg, Zoe Falkenberg, Jamie L. Fallon, William F. Fallon, and my father, Firefighter Robert J. Crawford, Safety Battalion 1. Although 19 years have passed, there isn't a day that goes by without a thought of you. My heart has been broken, and it will never be healed. We have an obligation to speak for those who no longer have a voice. I will say their names with honor and privilege. I will always remember. Until we meet again, I love you.
William Lawrence Fallon, Jr., Anthony J. Fallon, Jr., Dolores Bridget Finelli, Robert John Fangman, John Joseph Fanning, Kathleen Ann Farragut, Thomas James Farino, Nancy C. Dolaziski Farley, Paige Marie Farley Hackle, Elizabeth Ann Farmer, Douglas John Farnham, John Gerard Farrell, John W. Farrell, Terrence Patrick Farrell, Joseph D. Farrelly, Thomas Patrick Farrelly, Syed Abdul Fatah, Christopher Edward Fanon, Wendy R. Faulkner, Shannon Marie Fava, Bernard D. Favuza, Robert Fazio Jr., Ronald Carl Fazio Sr., William M. Fahan, and my son, firefighter Frankie Esposito, and my nephew, Captain Michael Esposito. Beautiful memories last. They never get lost, and they can never be taken away. To some, you may be forgotten. To others, a part of the past. But to those who knew and loved you, your memory will last forever. May God bless Frankie, Michael, and America.
Francis Jude Feely, Garth Aaron Feeney, Sean Bernard Fegan, Peter Adam Feidelberg, Alan T. Feinberg, Rosa Maria Feliciano, Edward P. Felt, Edward Thomas Fergus Jr., George J. Ferguson III, J. Joseph Ferguson, Henry Fernandez, Judy Hazel Santillion Fernandez, Julio Fernandez, Elisa Giselle Farena, Anne Marie Zalarin Fieria, David Francis Parigio, Robert John Ferris, Louis V. Versini Jr., Michael David Ferruggio, Michael Bradley James Fetchin, James Luis Fialco, Kristen Nicole Fidel, Amelia V. Fields, my brother firefighter Lee S. Failing, engine 235. Not a day goes by that we don't think of you. Or a second that we don't wish you were still here. I would give everything I have to see you walk through that door just one more time. You'll always be my mentor and best friend. You're a loving husband, son, brother, and someone I could always look up to. But most of all, you are a hero, New York's bravest. God bless all the families, and God bless America.
Samuel Fields, Alexandra Milan Filipov, Michael Bradley Finnegan, Timothy J. Finnerty, Michael C. Fiore, Stephen J. Fiorelli, Paul M. Fiore, John B. Fiorito, John R. Fisher, Andrew Fisher, Bennett Lawson Fisher, Gerald P. Fisher, John Roger Fisher, Thomas J. Fisher, Lucy A. Fishman, Ryan D. Fitzgerald, Thomas James Fitzpatrick, Richard P. Fitzsimons, Salvatore Fiumafredo, Darlene E. Flagg, Wilson F. Flagg, Christina Donovan Flannery, Eileen Fletcher, Andre G. Fletcher, and my brother-in-law, Kevin Joseph Frawley. Kevin was 34 when he died. He was born a triplet, the fifth of 6 children. Whoever said that one person cannot change the world had never met Kevin. He was a gift from our Lord, an example of what we are capable of. He was more than the way he died. His life had a purpose. To a mother, he was complete joy, love, and happiness. To his sisters, He was unconditional love. His bare hugs made the world seem a little safer. He was truly a beautiful soul. To his brother, whose grief is still palpable to this day at the mention of his name, Kevin was the best friend, a fellow accomplice in all things mischievous, a hero. For his nephew, echoes of Kevin's love still paint his memories. To Kevin's new bride of just 1 month, he was a promise of a life to be. Kevin's friends feel blessed and privileged that their lives were touched by him. To his friends, Kevin was love, laughter, and joy. To the world, Kevin was someone who took off his coat and bought a meal for the homeless man near his job and cried at his passing. He was someone who showed up at a friend's door with a bouquet of flowers for her cousin who had never received flowers. Our family has been blessed with the birth of 4 more children since Kevin's passing. In them we see our beloved Kevin, his love and kindness, his quick wit, twinkling eyes, and charming smile. We are so proud they continue his legacy. Kevin, we miss you every single day. Our hearts still feel heavy with our grief. Our days and times seem silent without your laughter. You are never forgotten. Our family would like to thank Tunnel to Towers Foundation and the hundreds of Americans who raised their voices to become one booming voice in order to make both the reading of the names and the tribute in lights possible this year. Our family is most grateful that America keeps its promise every year in remembering Kevin and those who were murdered on this day 19 years ago. For us, they're not just lights, and they are not just names. For us, they are a reminder of America's promise to never forget. They are a reminder that heroes walk amongst us daily, men and women in blue and red who in the face of danger walk towards it instead of running from it. Their names are a reminder of this horror-filled day 19 years ago, but their names and stories also remind us of September 12, 2001 and the days that followed. For us and for America and the world, their names are a benediction of what we as a united America is capable of. They remind us that although we are not perfect, we Americans love each other, that we, family, friends, neighbors, Americans, care deeply for one another every single day, one nation under God. Thank you for our brave police officers, firefighters, and military who protect and defend us daily. Thank you, America, for keeping your promise to never forget. Kevin, we miss you so very much every single day. You are and never will be forgotten. We love you. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Carol M. Flickinger, Matthew M. Flacco, John Joseph Florio, Joseph Walkden Flounders, Carol Ann Flysick, David Fodor, Michael N. Fodor, Stephen Mark Fogel, Thomas J. Foley, Jane C. Folger, David J. Fontana, Chi Min Fu, Delrose E. Forbes Cheatham, Godwin Ford, Donald A. Foreman, Christopher Hugh Forsyth, Claudia Alicia Foster, Noel John Foster, Sandra N. Foster, Anna Fosteris, Robert Joseph Fati, Jeffrey Fox, Virginia Elizabeth Fox, Pauline Francis, and my uncle, NYPD, ESU Truck 7 Police Officer Santos Valentin Jr., our hero on earth and our guardian angel in heaven. You were only 39 when you and your partner Ronnie Klopfer and other first responders bravely entered the towers. The courage and sacrifice of that day we will never forget. 19 years later, it feels like only 19 months or 19 weeks for some. The pain is still fresh, especially for your 90-year-old mother, Gloria, who misses you every day. Your memory lives on in those who were fortunate to have known you. All of us miss your sense of humor. We always felt safe around you, and we know you're in heaven looking down on us every day. God bless our first responders, and God bless America.
Virgin Lucy Francis, Gary J. Frank, Morton H. Frank, Peter Christopher Frank, Colleen L. Frazier, Richard K. Frazier, Kevin J. Frawley, Clyde Frazier Jr., Lillian Inez Frederick, Andrew Fredericks, Tamitha Freeman, Brett Owen Freeman, Peter L. Freund, Arlene Eva Freed, Alan W. Friedlander, Andrew Keith Friedman, Paul J. Friedman, Greg J. Croner, Lisa Ann Frost, Peter Christian Fry, Clement A. Fumando, Stephen Elliott Furman, Paul James Fermato, Carlton Douglas B. Fife, and my father, my hero long before September 11th, Fire Safety Director Richard Fitzsimons. My sincerest thanks to all our first responders and everyone who puts the health and safety of others before their own, then and now. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Frederick Neil Gabler, Richard Peter Gabriel, Richard S. Gabriel, James Andrew Gadil, Pamela Lee Gaff, Irvin Vincent Galliard, Deanna Lynn Galante and her unborn child, Grace Catherine Galante, Anthony Edward Gallagher, Daniel James Gallagher, John Patrick Gallagher, Lourdes J. Galetti, Kono E. Gallo, Vincent Gallucci, Thomas E. Galvin, Giovanni Galletta Gambale, Thomas Gambino Jr., Glenn F. Gamboa, Ronald L. Gamboa, Peter James Gansey Jr., Michael Gann, Charles William Garbini, Andrew Sonny Garcia, Cesar R. Garcia. A message for Rescue 3 firefighter Raymond Meisenheimer. Loving husband of Joanne, cherished father of Lauren and Caitlin. Ray, although you never met your grandchildren, Jordan, Kinsley, and baby Cole, you are forever in their hearts. We think about you, talk about you, and miss you every day. You are loved greatly by your family and your friends and will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Ray. God bless America.
David Garcia, Jorge Luis Moran Garcia, Juan Garcia, Marlon del Carmen Garcia, Christopher Samuel Gardner, Harvey Joseph Gardner III, Douglas Benjamin Gardner, Jeffrey Brian Gardner, Thomas A. Gardner, William Arthur Gardner, Frank Garfey, Rocco Nino Gargano, James M. Gartenberg, Matthew David Harvey, Bruce Gary, Boyd Allen Gatton, Donald Richard Gavigan Jr., Peter Allen Gay, Terrence D. Gazzani, Gary Paul Geidel, Paul Hamilton Gear, Julie M. Geis, Peter Gerard Galinas, Stephen Paul Geller, and my cousin firefighter Michael Edward Roberts. We love and miss you every day. I feel you with me every day, and I felt you there when I walked down the aisle last week. We'll never forget you.
Howard G. Gelling, Jr. Peter Victor Jenko, Jr. Stephen Gregory Genovese. Elaine Gentle. Linda M. George. Edward F. Garrity. Suzanne Girardi. Ralph Gerhardt. Robert Gerlich. Dennis P. Germain, Marina Romanovna Gertzberg, Susan M. Getzendon, Lawrence D. Getzford, James G. Geyer, Cortez E. Joseph M. Giacome, Vincent Francis Giamona, Deborah Lynn Gibbon, James Andrew Giberson, Brenda C. Gibson, Craig Neil Gibson, Ronnie E. Geese, Andrew Clive Gilbert, Timothy Paul Gilbert, and my father, Port Authority Police Officer Thomas Edward Gorman. Miss you. Thank you. Thank you for the lessons, the virtues. They'll be passed down to my child to be. Thank you to all the rescue workers that work tirelessly at the site. Who suffer today, who have passed on. Thank you to our military who continue to fight for the revenge that we need, that we deserve. Thank you. Thank you to all the men and women who are out here fighting the good fight. God bless America.
Paul Stuart Gilby. Paul John Gill. Mark Y. Gillis. Evan Hunter Gillette. Ronald Lawrence Gilligan. Rodney C. Gillis. Laura Gilly. John F. Ginley. Donna Marie Giordano. Jeffrey John Giordano. John Giordano. Stephen A. Giorgetti. Martin Giovanizio. Cum Girolamo. Salvatore Gitto. Cynthia G. Ugliano. Mon John Balaj. Diane Gladstone. Keith Alexander Glasgow. Thomas Irwin Glasser. Edmund Glazer. Harry Glenn. Barry H. Glick. Jeremy Logan Glick. And my dear brother, firefighter Andrew Brian Jordan. We love you so and miss you always. Thank you.
Stephen Glick. John T. Nazo. William Robert Gottschalk. Michael Galliamella. Brian F. Goldberg. Jeffrey G. Goldflam. Michelle Goldstein. Monica Goldstein. Stephen Ian Goldstein. Ronald F. Galinsky. Andrew H. Goldkin. Dennis James Gomes. Enrique Antonio Gomez. Jose Benvenito Gomez. Manuel Gomez Jr. Wilder Alfredo Gomez. Janine Nicole Gonzalez. Mauricio Gonzalez. Rosa J. Gonzalez. Lynn Catherine Goodchild. Calvin Joseph Gooding. Peter Morgan Goodrich. Harry Goody. Karan Kumar Reddy Gopu. And our son, Brian Daniel Fitzgerald. Right, guy? As it was said, on September 11th, 2001, so it is now, 19 years later, and we still love you, we still miss you, so very, very much. The American people will never forget the 2,977 holy innocents who were taken from us that tragic day. I thank the Tunnel to Towers organization for allowing this day to happen. God bless our military, our first responders, the FDNY, Engine 298 in Queens, and the NYPD. God bless New York City, and God bless America.
Catherine C. Gaurier, Lisa Van Gordenstein, Karine Gordon, Sebastian Gorky, Kieran Joseph Gorman, Thomas Edward Gorman, Michael Edward Gold, O. Kristen Osterholm White Gould, Douglas Allen Goel, Yuji Goya, John Richard Grabowski, Christopher Michael Brady, Edwin J. Graff III, David Martin Braithman, Gilbert Franco Granados, Lauren Catuzzi Grancolis and her unborn child, Elvira Granito, Winston Arthur Grant, Christopher S. Gray, Ian J. Gray, James Michael Gray, Tara McLeod Gray, John M. Gracioso, Timothy George Gracioso. I read today in memory and in honor of my brother, Ronald J. Rubin. You are always in my heart. I love you and miss you daily. Continue to watch over us. We miss you and love you. Thank you.
Derek Arthur Green, Wade B. Green, Wanda Anita Green, Elaine Myra Greenberg, Donald Freeman Green, Gail R. Green, James Arthur Greenleaf Jr., Eileen Marcia Greenstein, Elizabeth Martin Gregg, Denise Marie Gregory, Donald H. Gregory, Florence Moran Gregory, Pedro Graham, John Michael Griffin, Tawana Sherry Griffin, Joan Donna Griffith, Warren Grifka, Ramon Bree Carvalho, Joseph F. Grillo, David Joseph Grimmer, Francis Edward Brogan, Linda Gronland, Kenneth George Rosales, Joseph Grislack, and my father, Battalion Chief Thomas Haskell, and my uncle, Firefighter Timothy Haskell. You may be gone from our sight, but never gone from our hearts. We love and miss you.
Matthew James Grzmalski, Robert Joseph Gashar, Liming Gu, Richard J. Guadagno, Firefighter Jose A. Guadalupe, Cindy Yan Zhu Guan, FDNY Lieutenant Jeffrey E. Gujra, FDNY Lieutenant Joseph P. Gullickson, Babita Girjamati Guman, Douglas Brian Gurian, Janet Ruth Gustafson, Philip T. Guza, Barbara Guzzardo, Peter Mark Goulivari, Gary Robert Haig, Andrea Lynn Haberman, Barbara Mary Habib, Philip Hansler, Nizam A. Hafiz, Karen Elizabeth Haggerty, Stephen Michael Haggis, Mary Lou Haig, Firefighter David Halderman, Miley Raquel Hale, and my uncle and guardian angel, Firefighter Joseph Patrick Henry, Ladder 21, who was recently joined in heaven by my grandpa and his dad, Battalion Chief Edward Henry. You are both our heroes. We love you, we miss you, and we promise that we will never forget.
Diane Hale McKenzie, Richard B. Hall, Stanley R. Hall, Boswell George Hall, Robert J. Halligan, Vincent Gerard Halloran, Carolyn B. Hallman, James Douglas Halverson, Mohammed Salman Hamdani, Felicia Hamilton, Robert W. Hamilton, Carl Max Hammond Jr., Frederick K. Hahn, Christopher James Hanley, Sean S. Hanley, Valerie Joan Hanna, Thomas Paul Hannafin, Kevin James Hannaford Sr., Michael Lawrence Hannon, Dana Ray Hannon, Christine Lee Hansen, Peter Burton Hansen, Sue Kim Hansen, Vasilios G. Paramus, and my father, Roberto Hernandez. We love you and we miss you.
James A. Heck, Gerald Francis Hardacre, Jeffrey Pike Hardy, T. J. Hargrave, Daniel Edward Harlan, Francis Horrocks, Harvey L. Harrell, Stephen G. Harrell, Melissa Harrington Hughes, Aisha Ann Harris, Stuart D. Harris, John Patrick Hart, Eric Hartono, John Clinton Hartz, Emerick Harvey, Peter Paul Hashem, Thomas Theodore Haskell Jr., Timothy Sean Haskell, Joseph John Hanson III, Leonard W. Hatton Jr., Terrence S. Hatton, Michael Helmut Hogg, Timothy Aaron Haviland, Donald G.